I think the concept of a cost of living is like really interesting because it literally means that it costs something to live. And I think it's very similar to the concept of cost of capital in finance, where, let's say for debt, for example, in order to have the debt, you need to pay the interest on the debt. And the interest would be like, I don't know, let's like 5% or something. And so in order to keep the money that you got via debt, you have to pay 5%. Similarly, in life, you have to maintain the standards of, an apartment, food, trash bags, things like that in order to continue on living. And I think the funny part is that we don't owe anyone our lives. If you're a debt holder of a company, you own the company in the event of bankruptcy. And if you're an equity holder, then you own the company in absence of bankruptcy. But our lives are definitively our own. We don't owe anyone our lives. And at any point, you could just stop paying the cost of living, both in terms of monetary things, like you could stop paying for an apartment and then you get evicted, and that's not really great. You could stop putting in the effort to eat and exercise, and that's really bad for your health, and you gradually die from that as well. So there's so many things you can do to just stop paying the cost of living, and then because of that, you would stop living. And the only compelling reason for people to continue living is if they think there's going to be something worth it in the future. In the same way that people invest in a company, buy debt or equity, because they think there's some kind of return that the company is going to yield. Similarly, in your life, you think that your future is going to be better than your past. There's some sort of value that you're discounting to the present. Let's say it's like happiness or something. And you would only continue paying the cost of living if you think your future happinesses or whatever, like unit of utility that you want to discount to the present makes it worth it. Otherwise, you would stop paying the cost of living and you would just unalive yourself. So if you use this framework, it's really just a way to think about like what makes life worth it. Like what makes life worth putting in the cost of living in order to continue to live. And the explanation is you must believe like your future is going to be great. And if you believe your future is going to suck, then like what's the point in continuing to put out the cost of living?